Yeah, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to From My Experience podcast. This is the day. It has finally arrived. What am I talking about? I don't know. I just feel like being extra. Um,
Very.
well, those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving or the fall holiday, whatever you choose, you are listening to this around that time. This is the day before, but you may be listening to it the day of. Hopefully, you are safe and sound and gathered with family, friends, or loved ones. And if you're by yourself, because I'm more than likely going to be by myself, I'll be calling around just to check on people. But I went to a Friendsgiving last weekend, so I'm good on that. I've had my fill and my cravings of the Thanksgiving-ish food. But I got my co-host, who's always vibrating higher, J-Fo. How art thou?
I am well. How are you?
I'm well. I want one of those kinder bars that you showed me now, because I have a really
Yes.
bad sweet tooth.
This is a unofficial affiliated uh affiliate link that's not going to be there, so don't look for it. However, if y'all see a Bueno bar at the front line of the grocery store, it just says Bueno in white and red packaging. Pick it up and holla at me when you do. Tell me your experience because they are so good. It's chocolate and hazelnut, and it's so soft and creamy on the inside. And there's two individually wrapped bars, so you can save one, eat it later, put it in a lunchbox, enjoy it, midnight snack it. Yeah, I really love Bueno bars.
That was excellent. I'm gonna challenge you to go after them for some affiliate links.
Okay.
Y'all already know. Y'all can find us FME_podcast on Instagram. Don't forget to join the conversation of the From My Experience podcast group on Facebook. We have some great conversations going there. And our affiliates, we have Gardener's Garden, where you can buy natural products for like hair care, skin care, and oral health care. Retro Mimi, those of you who love gaming, they sell handheld consoles. You can flash your micro SD card, go on YouTube and figure out how to get your ROMs and programs, and you can play those games on your handheld pocket size consoles. Retro Mimi. Acre Gold, they offer different subscription levels, so you can subscribe and pay monthly towards a bar of gold. I have a subscription. I'll be getting my next bar probably in February or March. I'm looking forward to that. And Black Water, that is BLK water, the water that is literally black. It is black because of the minerals that they put in it, and they come in various flavors. So make sure you check out our affiliate links in the description. That'll be a great way to support the show and to get yourself some cool products. So today it's just me and J-Fo. I don't know if we've ever even done an episode with just you and me. We've been killing y'all with interviews. This is a show about being thankful. So my wonderful co-host came up with this topic, and that is what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss things that we're thankful for. Hopefully, after this year and during this year, you have taken some time yourself to really sit down and think things over and say to yourself, you know what, I'm truly thankful.
Yeah, it is the time. If it's been the time. 2020, I feel like, has really prompted us all to just you see bad news every day. And
Yeah.
so like when you're seeing it, it's like, what am I grateful for? Like, and not even trying to identify it. I feel like for me, I'm just in a space of mental clarity and health. Like, I'm happy to still be here. Like, I feel grateful for that because it ain't like that for everybody. There's so many people that didn't make it through the end of this year. And
Yeah,
we're here.
we are here. I'm just thankful that God spared the lives of so many people that I know. People in my family have had COVID. My uncle, his wife, his four daughters, three daughters, four daughters. Wait, hold on. Yeah, 4 daughters. Sorry, y'all. It's so many of y'all. And I think my cousin-in-law and the babies, yeah, all of them were spared. One of my homeboys and his wife got it. It's serious and it's real, y'all. It's serious and
Yep.
it's real. Some people aren't
Take it
taking.
from me. I had it. And I
Yeah.
I mean, just 2 weeks ago. So it is serious. It is alive and well, and it is something that everybody doesn't bounce back from. So thankfully, I'm here, and all of your family and friends are here because I have an uncle right now. I mean, he's on oxygen, not a ventilator, but
Mhm.
oxygen, and he's hospitalized, and it's been up and down and fluctuating. So um, just really grateful that I can see this is a time to be grateful. I know that that's
Yes.
like super. I know people are like, okay, okay, you fairy, you're being super, super grateful. But clarity, it's like sometimes we have all this stuff to be grateful for, and we don't see it. So
Oh
you're
my
just skipping
God.
past it,
Yes.
and you just moving past it, and you can't see like, hey, that's something to really be grateful for. Like everybody, that's not everybody's uh cards to play. Like the fact that you have that card to play.
I'm not even gonna get on you because I literally just muted my
I'm gonna
phone
get
like
chewed out
15
about
seconds
this
ago.
phone. Okay, podcasters, all of the entrepreneurs out there, if you go on a podcast, you should not have your phone on. Like me, I am learning, I am growing from this. And I'm grateful that Rob gives me grace and a space to get it right.
Yeah, cause
So
I have too
anyway,
many devices, and mine. I mean, between my watch and my phone and my tablet, something's gonna go off. But
right, and you think that you did it, and then I did one, but I didn't do the other, and yada yada yada. But whatever. But yeah, like I'm to be able to see that we're walking in the midst of grace, and we're walking in the midst of these opportunities, missed opportunities, and you have one more chance to get it right. I think that that is a whole nother bucket of gratitude.
yep,
Like,
and I'm gonna get quite personal on this episode because I like to look for the brighter side of things. The brighter, and I'm just gonna be very real with y'all today. Just because, I mean, some people look at your life and they're on the outside and they think everything is peaches and cream and it's all beautiful and it's all wonderful and you're happy all the time. You're so blessed. And that's not always the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love to laugh, I love to joke, but I'm not happy 24/7. There are things that are on my mind. I get stressed, I get sad, I get upset. It happens. But that's just not what I choose to display every 5 minutes on social media or even on my podcast or what have you. But you want to go first, or you want me to go first? It don't matter because I know you
go
had.
ahead.
All
It's
right.
on your heart. I can
So
feel it.
I have really the two main things. One is the change that has happened with this podcast. Those of you who've been rocking with us for years, this started in 2015, 2014-ish. Well, technically, it started in 2000. I want to say 9. I want to say 2009. Shout out to my fraternity brother, my big brother sidekick, aka Colin Myers. We were housemates, and I used to get on Blog TV. Shout out to Joe Budden. Joe Budden used to be on Blog TV. I was a big fan. I used to follow him. And you could get on camera, and other people could come in and chat. So they could chat, but you'd be the only one on camera. And I used to get on there at midnight, and we would talk about all kind of stuff and have a great time. Shout out to Fool Up, Amber Nelson. What up with you, girl? Um, that name kills me, aka Killer Am on Instagram. And I used to just get on there and talk to people. And years later, when I had a career, I kept trying to do it, but I couldn't because I had to wake up and go to work. And then working with friends, Alex, Shinwar, Nelson, PJ, we used to, and Dave, we used to do the gaming thing and we would podcast there. Then we kind of branched off and started She Said, He Said, which is what this podcast started out as. Then it transformed into From My Experience podcast. And then the natural order of things happen. Everyone who starts out on the ride with you don't end up at the finish line, and we're not at the finish line yet. But people had their life things going on, or their own issues, or their own things going on, and they started to separate. And let me be clear, I don't have any beef, any drama. Your boy, I ain't mad, I ain't upset, I ain't trying to look for the get bite, I ain't looking for no revenge. Things just naturally happen. And now up to this date, it continued to happen, and I happened to look. My numbers were doing well. People were more open to doing interviews with me. And I thought to myself, I knew that it was important for me to have a female co-host. Like, I needed a woman because I need a woman's opinion, because I am not a woman. I can't think like a woman, and you all's opinions are extremely valid. And I was like, who'd be good? And I thought about my conversations with Jessica, and I actually went back and listened to our shows, and I was like, I'm a tricker. So I did.
What?
I'm sorry. I said I'm gonna trick you because most people, when you straight up ask them, I was so used to getting rejected, or people being nervous, or people saying I don't know. I'm like, I'm gonna just throw her in. And I threw her in one of the craziest situations, which is the line is not secure, one of those episodes. That's like the worst way to start someone out. But now look at us. You know what I'm saying? We're flowing, we're vibing. We've had great conversations with great people. Our numbers are looking good. The feedback is looking great. And she's helped me tremendously grow this thing and just broaden my horizons and add more creativity and add more structure. Things that I've needed. But sometimes when you're so caught up in just trying to make sure that it stays afloat and that it's functioning, you forget about the upgrade. So you have been an upgrade, and I greatly appreciate you, and I'm highly thankful for you, because this is something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I don't ever see myself stopping this. There's no reason for me to stop. It feels too good. It feels too right. And I am very thankful to have you by my side.
Don't do it. Because I did not know that was the turn we were making. I was ready for the personal story. I was sitting here.
That was personal.
No, it was very personal. I just didn't know I was a part of it. I thought this was like one of those personal stories where you tell about your stuff.
Oh, that's next. That's next.
Man, same here. You tricked me. But in that, I believe, which is something that I'm grateful for too. I guess this is gonna be a mushy episode, isn't it?
Yes, y'all need some mush.
I'm grateful for you. You're grateful for me. But I wanted a space to use my voice, and I've said that in several of the previous episodes, so I'm not gonna even elaborate on that too much. But I wanted a place that my thoughts were valid, not just simply because they were right, but because it was a place for me to figure out if they were right, or like figure out and dive deeper into things that I was thinking or questions that I have. And it's just like about life and here and sitting at a table with people who want to have that conversation, because I think naturally I have this conversation pretty much a lot of places I go, but the reality is not everybody wants to publicly have it on a public platform.
Facts.
Where other people can participate. And so it's just been in a way, it's like enriched my life in a way that I asked for this, and I did not I knew it would come. I just didn't know how soon and how fast and how like right now.
Yeah.
Buckle up. We in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, this has been so much fun. It's such a great place to like just thought and to be able to share those thoughts and engage from the Facebook to the podcast. I've enjoyed all of it. So thank you for giving me this space. Thank you for creating this space for all of us, because it's a great space. It's a great conversation. It's great dialogue. And it is Yeah, special here.
Well, thank you for being your being yourself, your authentic, true self. That's what makes this. Anyone who truly wants to be a part of this, moving forward, just thinking down the line, I don't know what's gonna happen. Because my goal was actually for people, but you got to be your authentic self, and you have to be at a certain place in your journey in life. I've kind of realized that now. Um, and much like the conversation we're having before we got on air, we have to create these safe spaces for each other. Like, it's not about arguing or challenging your thoughts. Like, who am I to challenge your thoughts? We don't share all the same experiences. You think the way you think for a reason. Now, if you're asking for advice, that's a whole different story. But, we're here to speak and to be heard and to be listened to and to have meaningful dialogue, not to fight, not to bicker, not to argue. I think way too many people try to make the world black and white and just say, "Oh, you're right, I'm wrong," or "You're wrong, I'm right." Whatever. Like, everything is not right or wrong all the time.
Nope.
It's never that simple.
Nope. Usually it's the gray.
Yeah.
Like black and like I always say, like communicate in black and white, but the reality of what you're communicating is often gray. That's why you have to be very clear in how you're communicating it. But the topic at hand isn't just yes or no, good or bad. Like usually it comes with layers and layers, and it's very very gray. So no, it's not just black and white.
And so, so my second. Well, you go. You gave one of yours. I gave one of mine. It's my turn again,
I
huh?
gave both of mine.
Oh, you gave them already. Oh,
I said clarity. Mine were clarity and health. Just because, I mean,
yeah,
this thing shook me up. You saw me from
yeah.
beginning to end, and like,
You're already
it
a different
wasn't that
person
I
too.
got. I mean, it just wasn't COVID. It was
Hmm.
what it going back to. That's the black and white piece. Okay, yes, I have COVID, but the gray is how does that make you feel? How do like and digging through that's a whole like bucket of stuff, and I feel like I was able to um I isolated myself from the world in such a way. Obviously, it's quarantine, but with that, I don't have all of these outside voices. I don't have all of this distraction. I don't have
Mm.
really my own health to keep up with that. So like it's like a sit down, a timeout from God. Like that's how it felt for me. And the first with it being 2 weeks, I went on vacation, I had a good time, and then as soon as I got back, I tested positive. So then at that point, I wasn't feeling well. So the first week, I was just mentally in my head, I don't feel well, but I was fighting this piece of me that was needing to fall off.
Hmm.
And it was like I was in the battle of that because I'm like, but I have clients and my clients, what are they going to do? And like, they're not going to be there when I get back in 3 weeks. And I just spoke all of this like negative fear factor type thought.
Hmm.
Um, and then I finally like about a week into it, like not even maybe like 4 days into it, it is what it is. Right now, your main concern is your health, and your main concern is getting healthy. And you can't think about things that you can't control, and that's not helpful. It was just like that's not helpful for you. And
Nugget. You.
I had to, I had to like come to that kicking and screaming moment, like just it was nobody and it wasn't anybody there, it was me and God, like truly, like not on a super spiritual, it was me and it was God, and I kept talking and kept praying, and like I was going through something, and then when I would get to a little bit of place of clarity, then I would like communicate what I was feeling with you and a few other friends. Just like some stuff has to change. Like I can't. This is happening for a reason.
Yep.
Like there's no reason why you go on a one. I went on vacation for a week, and I just feel like it was timely that it happened right after I got back out of a vacation. I don't think that that was accidental. I think it was a setup for a reason, and I was already decompressed, quote unquote, from what I needed, what I thought I needed, which is the break.
Hmm.
But what's the point of breaking if you're going to go back into it with the same systems and the same process?
Yes.
Like, you might as well keep going. You can keep wearing yourself out. I was wearing myself out, which is why I needed the break. And so instead of continuing that, it was like an opportunity to restructure that. All right, what is working and what is not? And right now, it ain't working for you to be worried about this because you don't have a choice and you got to be in here for 2 weeks. Feel like solitary confinement. Second, um, second week when I felt better, it was like, all right, let's work on these processes hardcore. And it's something that I had on a sticky note. Systems, systems, systems. And y'all will probably hear me talk about systems a lot, a lot, a lot, because
They're important.
it is that important. I think everybody's looking for the money, everybody's looking for the likes, everybody's looking for more reach, more following, more all of this stuff. But how can you handle more? Like you cannot if you have like how can you handle it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you don't have a system in place. If it's hard for you to, and I say like some people can't cook for more than themselves, or some
Facts.
people like or don't have the funds, not even that you can't. So if I tell you to cook for 100 people now, that's a lot of work. And if you haven't learned how to do that for just yourself, you never really gonna get to the 100. Like um what is that like? What do I want these foods to taste like? Da 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 da. Like you're not just gonna get to that. And I think you have to create something. Well, maybe you find out, you know what, I cook really well if I prep. If I
Hmm.
prep the stuff first, that way on the day of, it's just toss, 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 boom, I got pasta. Everything was already cut up, everything. But maybe for me, and using my own life as an experience,
Yeah.
it was, I recognize I don't like going in the kitchen and cooking as much as I love to cook. And if you follow me, you see that I'm in the kitchen a lot. Like, but if I have to wash the dishes and do like a full deep clean, then cook and have to do something after, like, sis is done. I'm mentally defeated already, and that is way too much. So now, what I like to do is I'll cook, and even if it's breaking it up, and I've cleaned the kitchen, like say right now it's about to be 3 o'clock, so I clean the kitchen now,
Hmm.
and I come back this afternoon when I'm hungry and it's time to cook. But those
Right.
are two different processes. I've had a time to break. I'm not in the same space, confined by the space. Like I'm able to move on, and so like that goes. All of this, the systems was is a part of my gratitude. Being able to sit down and figure this out and put my stuff on a schedule. I'm very artsy. A lot of people know me as an entrepreneur, but I don't apply those same entrepreneurial steps in my personal life, which is why my personal life is not productive like my entrepreneur life. And it's not moving forward, and it's not, I'm not able, because there is no calendar in my
Yeah.
personal life.
Yeah.
There is no I don't know, all of this structure that I created on a business level to keep my clients happy. I wasn't doing that to keep me happy.
Right.
And I had an opportunity to like dial it all back that was outside of my control and get it right. And now, I mean, I talk to you about this every day, like your kids showing off their report card.
Yep.
Like, look at my system, look at my calendar.
Yep.
Because it looks like night and day.
Yep.
That thing is, and everything in my life is aligning with that because it's getting done.
That, I mean, everything you just said is beautiful, wonderful, and that is called growth and change and appreciation. You saw it. You saw the opportunity to grow and change. You saw that God took a moment and said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Let me pause you. Take a step back." Kind of like how you, when we were talking in private, I'm putting all our private business out there, and you were kind of like, you felt like you were withdrawn from everyone and everything. You were kind of watching everything happen,
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, that means when you're ready to jump back in it, you can pick exactly where you want to come in at, and
Right.
that's what you
I was in a
did.
bubble. That's what I
Yeah.
told you. I was like, I felt like I was in a bubble and I was watching the world from the like from the corner. Like the election happened, like my healing. It was just so much stuff. Like we were talking about me losing my taste and my smell and like parts of that, and being able to choose what you want to eat. What like I've been eating vegetarian, pescatarian because I had fish this week. Pescatarian since all of this, and I started the year off pescatarian vegetarian lifestyle, and that was because I really do like eating like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I like vegetables. I like them cooked. I like fresh food. It just tastes really good when something is cut up, sliced and diced, and you use that fresh ingredient. Even if it's you had pizza today, even if it's on a pizza, it
Mm-hmm.
just tastes better. Like fresh basil and
It
like
does.
tomatoes and all of that tastes better to me when it's fresh. And so that's what I like. So why are you not doing that? And you're not doing that because you're not really planning out your meals. You're eating like we plan out podcasts and like the topics. I couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
Like what the topics are gonna be or what our objectives are. Why am I not putting that same level of intention in smaller things? Like, but we have deemed them. We'll do it later, and later never comes,
Never.
and later is just like keeping our dreams on hostage, and like that's not cool. Like
It's not.
we don't meal, and I'm not saying meal prep like you got to go and cook every meal for the week, but meal prepping in the sense maybe you're a person that don't mind cooking during the week, but at least know what you're going to cook, so when you go to the grocery store your list is prepared for the grocery store and you can at least get everything that you needed, instead of like, oh, I wanted to cook this and Tuesday comes and you don't have one of the key ingredients because you
Guilty.
didn't plan.
Guilty.
Hello.
I be putting on there
I can
vegetables,
only talk about
chicken.
this because I know about this.
I need to be more intentional in my grocery shopping. I just be like, all right, you getting a little bear over there. Let me just fill you up with a bunch of stuff that I know I eat, and I don't even think about combinations. But yeah, I suffer from that. I'm gonna give my second one now. I'm gonna take yours, clarity. Clarity and another thing you said earlier, just looking around and appreciating the things that are around you. So another personal story. So those of you who know me and have been listening to the podcast, you know I was in a very serious relationship with someone, and the relationship ended in, oh God, when did it end? May this year? May, March, May, whatever. One of the M's. Ended earlier this year. She was unfaithful, and she got caught. The people closest to me know the whole story, but those of you who really, really know me know that when I'm the type of guy, when I'm in a relationship, I'm all in. It's no longer I, it becomes we. And this relationship actually ending, and me actually having, shout out to Nella B. She's been on the show as well. I had a consult with her. She's a therapist, licensed professional counselor. And she pointed out a couple things to me. And one of the things was we have to stop letting go of our individuality when we're in a relationship. You are still a person who has interests, goals, things that you like to do, places you like to go, things of that nature. You shouldn't have to throw all of that away because you're in a relationship. And I've never been asked to do that. It's just something that I did, and part of that comes from looking at the way my father dealt with women, dealt with my mom, and then, after they divorced, he wasn't a cheater, y'all. But after they divorced, the way he dealt with women, and that's kind of where I got it from. That was the only example I had in front of me. So when that relationship ended, I poured a lot into it. Like, I was investing in her business more than mine. I was spending extra time with her. I was spending extra money on her. Like, just a lot of things I didn't have to do, I was doing. And this is no shade to her or anything. I'm just looking at the behaviors that I was exhibiting, and I'm like, man, there's a lot that I didn't have to do, that had I just held on to that individuality, the relationship would have been what it would have been. It would have still been quote unquote fine, for as fine as it was. I don't think it would have made a dramatic change. But since it ended near the beginning of COVID, and it gave me a chance to sit back and reflect on what I want again. Like, what are you working towards? Because you were so consumed by your relationship, you kind of looked at your goals and your hopes and dreams kind of became secondary to, all right, how are we going to build this life together? And I'm not doing that anymore. My podcast has gotten better. My financial management has gotten better. Just my level of investing in like the stock market and other forms of passive income have gotten better. So many things in my life have gotten better. But the clarity came when I was just sitting here in peace one day. Literally just sitting here, nobody calling me, no loud music driving by, no nosy neighbors. I had a fridge and freezer full of food, my AC worked, my heat worked, cable with all the channels, all the video games that I want. I had air. I'm living like a king, basically. Like, this is like it. Like, this was, I was like, yo, I had this. This is what I've been wanting. I need to enjoy this. I need to be thankful for this. A lot of people would love to be in my position. And I had to really stop and say to myself, yo, you need to take it. You need to take advantage of this. And also, let's get resettled and refocused. What are we really doing? Like, what are we doing with this money? What are we doing with this podcast? What are we doing with the gaming stuff? What are we doing with the DJ stuff? What are we doing with these friendships? So I developed stronger friendships and stronger relationships with people because now I'm talking to them more because I'm pouring into them more and they're pouring into me. So I kind of took some more control back. And I said to myself, you know what? Moving forward, I need to remain this guy. And whoever I meet needs to understand that this ain't going nowhere. This is a part of the package deal because the individuality matters. So I'm bike on the dating scene. I'm bike.
Me too. Look,
Yeah.
I've been on the dating scene a long time. However, holla at your girl. No, I'm joking.
Nah, yeah.
Don't be serious. You gotta have prerequisites over here for this course, but
yeah, I'm yeah, and it's interesting navigating. I've met quite a few interesting young ladies and just conversing and hanging out and doing that sort of thing and really just getting back into the groove because I want to make sure that my next move is my best move. You know, I'm obviously you can't guarantee that, but like the next move got to be the best move, and I want to make sure I'm moving.
You can't guarantee that.
Oh, I can.
I think we can.
Okay.
I think we have the potential to guarantee, and based off, and I'm not saying when you say guarantee, I do think you can guarantee it being your best move. It may not look like what you want it to look like.
Okay.
It may not, whatever your idea of best move is, doesn't mean that that's what it's going to be. But it still will be your best move because you intentionally are doing the work for it to be your best move. You're coming to the table with your best understanding, the best clarity, a new version of yourself. So I think it's automatic that it's going to be your best move, even if it takes you to a different space in the journey. Like, and on the flip side of that, like, I think going back, pairing with what you just said and the fact that we get into these relationships, we haven't really, I think you became aware that you were living like a king and there was something valuable here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, right. But that it's like a true awareness.
Yeah.
I mean, we get these quasi passive, like, yeah, I'm doing good for myself. Like, check. Those are like check the list marks type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get that full understanding and clarity and like, no, this is something to be grateful for. I know without a shadow of a doubt, like, this is not everybody's life. This is something I work for. This is like, I need to be grateful for this moment. And that kind of brought me to my third one. I had originally wrote down health and clarity. But I recognize that I am very grateful to say that I am a full-time entrepreneur. And that is something that I totally discredited. And I told another friend, Marcel, he'll be on the show, William. I call him Marcel like you call me J4. Mm-hmm. But William, hopefully he'll be on the show soon. We were just talking about when you don't use your gifts, like if you don't use your gift, it's just that. It's a gift. And it's an opportunity for you to use it. And if you don't use it, then it can be taken away. Just like my taste buds, just like my smell, just like my ability to work. Like, I don't think I was truly, like, in heart of hearts, because every comment, and it kind of makes me sad in the sense of, I hate that I was in that space. I hate that I was in that mental space. But that mental space was necessary for this mental space. So you got
Yep.
to get over it and move on and stop doing that flip flop stuff that we do in our heads. But when people would give me a compliment, I'd be like, thanks. And then I'll either butt it and negate everything that they said,
Yeah.
or downplay it, or going back, shrinking. And I I do have I pay all of my bills, all of everything that I do, every action you see outwardly of Jessica comes from the income that I provide for myself and have created for myself. Like, it's not from anything other than that. Like, Lash and Soul, I need to be proud of that. That is
Yes.
something that I built, and I recognize how many people, other entrepreneurs, um admire that. And I used to always be like, yeah, but I'm trying to still figure it out. Like, you will always be trying to figure it out as an entrepreneur.
Facts.
Like, and you will always be scaling. That's the whole point. Like, even if you're scaling from uh going, like, right now, my scale is a standalone facility and I'm in a suite. I no longer want to be, like, at some point I don't want to be in a suite. And I want to be in a space that you're coming to Lash and Soul specifically to that entity. And so, like, I would always discredit it because I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not there. And that's sabotage. Like, that's been like, when you start getting grateful, then things start just coming. You start finding more ways to be grateful and more
Mm-hmm.
ways to be grateful. Just like I started my list with two, but then when you started talking, I'm like, yo, hold up, I got another one I want to talk about. The fact that I do have a business that can sustain me, that I did not work for 3 weeks. There was no income coming in it. And I still am able to come out of that, quite honestly, stronger because I have better processes and I can implement those now and my books were full. Talked about being booked and busy. When I went back to work, I had full books. And so I was just like, Jessica, snap out of whatever that was. Like, that season of self-doubt and self-pity and sabotaging your own dreams. Like, you have something to be grateful for. Like, and I'm grateful if that's all I ever do. Even if it stays in a suite, it's successful and it vibrates. Like, my clients, I got the messages. Like, I thought that some of these people, like, they don't care. And
Yeah.
then I get random messages. I haven't heard from one lady since March, when we went out of on the governmental shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
We shut down for like 40 something days, 48 days. And during that time, I hadn't seen her after that. So that was March all the way to November,
Right.
October at the time. And so that's a long time. You just assume that people have moved on. For whatever reason, they're not thinking about you. They don't get their lashes done no more. They could have gone to another lash artist. They could have financials. It's so many different whys. But at the end of the day, they not with you no more. And that's what you just gotta suck it up to being. And it was the most heartfelt text message, um, that, one, she was sick. Two, even in the midst of the level of sickness that she had, like,
Mm-hmm.
she was sick, like, not even what I experienced.
Right.
Hospitalized for weeks, rehabilitation, all these different things. And she sent a message to me just to say, hey, I know I haven't been in, but I really appreciate you. I really value what you did for
Wow.
me while I was there. And as soon as I've had some issues with my eyes, and she just went, and I don't want to tell all her business,
Right.
but like, she just went on and on and on and on about how she really enjoyed and appreciates and values my skill set and my business and me, like, as a person.
Right.
And she doesn't even know at that moment that I too am not at work, not even in the studio, and I'm dealing with my own health issues of trying to get stronger and heal from COVID.
Right.
And so it's like, it just it was so many ripples. Sometimes it seems like it stops because you can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the ripple stopped. The ripple never stopped. Like, it's a vibration and it's just gonna keep going and going and going and
Always
going.
going.
And it dies out, but it's still going and it ripples back at some point, one way or the other. Either it's like, yep, confirmation you were supposed to move on, or like, wow, like you still remember that. I didn't know. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Lash and Soul. If you guys are not familiar, shameless plug, go check it out at Lash and Soul on Instagram. That is my baby. That is when I made my first leap of faith into entrepreneurship full out. And it is a very special place for me. So
It'll
I'm
be in,
grateful.
it'll definitely be in the description. That's it. I got nothing else.
Me either. That's big though. We talked about a lot. I talked about health, clarity, Lash and Soul, podcasting. Like we
That's
doing it. That's
that's
another thing I've
everything.
been saying to at the end of these kind of conversations.
Mm.
We are doing it. We are
Yes.
becoming the people that we say that we want to be because we're doing these big life changing, like self awareness, like to be grateful. I feel like all of this is just moving us forward at exponential rate. Like it's not like a light. It's not like, oh, you moved forward. You took one step. No, like this stuff, if you can get this stuff right, I feel like everything connected to you will multiply because everything connected to you is connected again to what? You. So if you get you right,
Mhm.
everything else grows. But we all often keep ourselves last and we keep deflecting and delaying the personal growth because we got to do a task for something else. And it's like, no, get you right. When you get you right and you focus on you and you focus on what you want and what you need and what you desire, everything now that's linked to that has to get in line with that um brand, that
Yep.
that core value, because you are a brand. We represent something. So
What do you represent, ladies and gentlemen? Be thankful. Be
yeah.
grateful. Embrace the positivity in your life. And thank you all for joining us once again. Hope you have a happy Turkey Day, happy Thanksgiving, happy Friendsgiving, whatever
Yes.
it is that you are celebrating. Um, don't forget, you can always follow us. I am at complete_vision on Instagram. The podcast is FME_podcast. Jessica, you are at.
Expose her, EXPOZHER, play on the word exposure. So you can find me on Facebook as well, Jessica Fountain, not JFO. Most people know me as Jessica. But it's okay. You can keep calling me that. I just want to get clarity that they know where to find me.
Yes, I know. I call you that because whenever you're referred to,
Everybody,
yeah, everyone
my
calls
dad
you
calls
that.
me that now.
Oh my goodness, yes. And don't forget about our affiliates in the description: Gardener's Garden, Retro Mimi, Acre Gold, and Blackwater. And our emails there: fmepodcast1@gmail.com. Got a great interview coming for y'all soon. A couple actually. Yeah. So we will catch y'all next. Man, we'll catch y'all next time. Take care of yourself physically, mentally, financially, and have a great Thanksgiving holiday. Peace.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.